3 minutes, guys. A pie. Chicken turn-in time, 3 minutes. Shalom. 3 minutes, chicken turn-in time. Chicken turn-in time, 3 minutes, guys. Chicken turn-in time, 3 minutes. Everybody's cool? You're good. You guys ready to rock?
Georgia is, to my mind, kind of the buckle of the southern barbecue belt. So many of the best barbecue places in town have opened in the last 10 years, and a lot of them reflect much broader cultural backgrounds. A lot of the barbecue in Atlanta now is influenced by global barbecue cooking, and it involves almost every ethnic strain that makes up America.
To be a Jewish chef in the South, to me, is something unique, something a little bit different. You know, up in where I come from, New Jersey and New York, there were a lot of us and there was a lot of community there. There's a lot of community here, but there wasn't so many people cooking Jewish food. You can take a technique, because ultimately what barbecue is a technique and style of cooking, and you can cook Jewish food using barbecue methods for sure. Pastrami is a style of barbecue. Obviously smoked brisket, smoked meat from Canada is a style of barbecue.
It's not only a Southern thing. You've got barbecue in Kansas City, you've got barbecue in Memphis.
Kosher ones as well.
Right, and you know, cities where there are substantial Jewish communities. And so it's just another way to tie us together. We all eat.
Barbecue Nation was at the Atlanta History Center for 17 months in 2018 and 2019, and it was the most comprehensive exhibition that's ever been done about the history of barbecue in America.
We realized that barbecue was about place. We realized that barbecue was about people and traditions, and we sat down and we started to map out the chapters of barbecue in our nation's history.
One of the things that we wanted to make sure that we did was talk about how barbecue just wasn't a bunch of Southern bubbas, you know, and I'm a Southern bubba, so I can say that. That barbecue is much broader and much more diverse and much more representative of America. So you get into a lot of issues about gender, Lord knows you get into issues about race, and you get into issues about, you know, different ethnicities and their contributions to barbecue. The Germans and the Central Europeans and Texas and all that, and you certainly get into Jews and you get into kosher barbecue.
Barbecue is universal, and kosher barbecue is something that's just totally unique.
When you think of barbecue in the Southeast, you think of pork and you think of other meats like ribs, and it can be very off-putting to people that keep kosher. And the Kosher BBQ Festival gives a lot of Jewish people an opportunity to really get involved in the cooking barbecue scene of Atlanta.
Our barbecue festival is a Kansas City Barbecue Society style event, and to have it out of completely 100% beef, chicken, beans, all done under Mishkiach supervision by the Atlanta Kosher Commission, it takes a whole different dimension. And people that would never otherwise have any connection with barbecue now have the opportunity.
We aren't talking about some little itty-bitty Jewish community that lives in Morningside and Summerhill and 2 or 3 neighborhoods or Druid Hills. We're talking about a Jewish community that's got hundreds of thousands of people, and it's spread all over metro Atlanta, and there are a lot of people who would be interested in this kind of event. And furthermore, a lot of people who aren't Jewish would be interested in this kind of event, because I think it would appeal to a lot of people who maybe aren't crazy about eating pork. A lot of my wife's friends are not really into eating pork. And and there are, of course, you know, there are Muslims who aren't into eating pork. I mean, I think there's a lot of interest in alternative protein.
We saw the importance and the growth of the Atlanta Kosher BBQ Festival, and we saw an opportunity to tell a story that many people don't know.
If you are a male, you must wear a yarmulke in the building. There are yarmulkes or hats out by the front door. Please, we're being respectful to God, so let's keep doing that. Please be respectful to your competitors. Yes, you want to beat them to the ground, but don't take stuff out of their boxes. Don't take stuff over the supply area over here.
B'nai Torah graciously allows us to use their kitchen area to do all the prep on Thursday night. We lay out a pantry which has the sauce bases, the spices, the onions, the garlic, all the utensils that we've stored for the last year, everything for the teams to start putting their rubs together, putting their sauces together. The mishkiachs are wandering around making sure we're doing everything according to kashrut laws, and that's when the party starts.
Anything you bring in has to be approved by us, ingredient-wise, equipment-wise. We've koshered the stove. We can use the stove in the kitchen here. We've covered the tables. We can work on the tables. We have 3 pot sinks that are kosher we can use. Our main role is ensuring that everything that is prepared and served is kosher.
Kosher food is the animals have been ritually slaughtered.
All the equipment has to be kosher.
All the meats were checked and approved by us beforehand.
We don't mix milk and meat.
It's got to be brand new when it's brought in. We brought it to the mikvah.
All the spices, all the seasonings.
The mikvah is a bath, a rainwater bath. The Torah tells us
no Waffle House, no McDonald's.
We only eat certain kinds of animals.
Anytime we buy a glass or metal vessel,
approximately 1,000 degrees, 1,100 degrees.
It needs to be dipped prior to us using it. Yeah, just a quick dip. You know, there's a new one that's built down the road, so it was easy.
Why is it important? Huh? God said so. God said so, that's one reason. Other than that, there is no difference between kosher and non-kosher.
We'll have to be a little bit unfriendly in everything. Period will have to be kosher. I'm available 24/6. Figure out which one I'm not available for.
When we have the competition, we have many teams and they come from all walks of life. You have a Chabad team, you have a Temple Brotherhood team, you have neighborhood guys, you have the police, the fire departments. We are a community event, and who better represents the community than the first responders?
Sandy Springs is a very diverse city, and we have a lot of synagogues, Hebrew schools throughout the city. We have a fantastic relationship with all those organizations, and the Jewish community is such a huge part of our city, and they're fantastic to us. And so it's a great opportunity for us to get out and interact with the community and kind of show our appreciation for them. We're just regular guys that like to come out and do fun stuff like this.
A lot of good fun last year, man. A lot of fun out there. Meeting a lot of new people, a lot of friendly people. So that was a good thing.
Last things, guys. Water will be available. Everybody, please remember turn-ins, no garnishes, no decorative displays and turn-in boxes. You can get DQ'd. And everybody, and no pork. Yeah, thank you, no pork. Oh, you can put shrimp in there, though, if you like.
You're cooking basically to what judges want. You know, forget that your Uncle Larry or Aunt, Mary told you how to cook a brisket. Judges want something that's going to be less salty, not oversaturated with sauce.
There is a tremendous amount of flavor difference from a commodity brisket to a kosher brisket. They salt the meat. They are removing impurities. They are removing excess moisture. They are concentrating the flavor, and they're pre-seasoning it. There's some sort of natural salinity happening, and there's some sort of natural intensity to its flavor. It's a little bit beefier.
We want to do a thin layer. Just come up just a little.
The one you want to leave like
half inch. Yeah.
We've had some teams that have gone to restaurants, hung out with the chefs, see how they're cooking, and talk about what are you guys doing professionally.
We went to the barbecue place the other day trying to kind of come up with how we were going to cut the brisket up.
Right on here.
Yeah.
Chris is kind of directing, but we're trying to recreate exactly, kind of how we learned, how we prepped.
Come on up just a little bit on it.
It doesn't look exactly like. I mean, you look great.
Kosher barbecue, I feel like because there's so many rules, you don't have the taste you really want to put to it. When it's non-kosher, you can do what you want to do to it. I'm having to tweak certain ideas that I have to make it be an A1 non-kosher taste. I'm gonna go ahead and put charcoal on right on there. I wonder, can we do that? If we good to go to do that.
Really? Want to?
I know we can't light them. Not after Shabbat.
Yeah, just a second. You don't rush me.
Cheers. Just make sure you guys know. We
Just
come
a
out
second.
to-
No. Please put it back.
Wait, he's talking. Alex is talking. He's
Hold on.
telling us.
You can come out to right here, to the crack of the pavement.
We need one more person.
We need one more person. We're better at cooking than putting up tents.
Welcome to the 7th annual Atlanta Kosher BBQ Festival. We made it. Everything's come together. You guys have almost everything you need. You're going to be getting the meat shortly, as soon as the Mishkiach comes. But I want to thank you all for participating. We're looking forward to a really, really amazing day, and the city's been great to work with, so we're really looking forward to it. In the meantime, I want to turn it over to Alex, who's done a phenomenal job recruiting you guys, getting everything prepped for you.
Thank you. The Mishkiachs have to light your fire. If it goes out, please don't light it yourself. Have a Mishkiach do it. Now, you can borrow from a friend's grill and bring their coals over, and also, remember, please do not leave a fire untended. You cannot just walk away and leave it there.
Yeah, so you're right next to Smokey, wherever Smokey and the brisket is.
Well, that's actually, you see that first spot right there? That's not actually a team. So there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that empty spot is yours. So all we got to get you is the grills, and I can't get anything else right now.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks, guys.
So right now the teams are prepping their tents. They're getting all set for the meet. The Mishkiach has arrived. The teams get their meat. They are going to prep the last minute stuff, like we haven't given them the ground beef or the chili beans yet. So they're going to start working on that. Around 11 o'clock is when the Mishkiach is going to light the grills. And then folks aren't always familiar with Weber kettles, so they've got to get familiar with them and get to temperature and then put the meat on. Then it's a little calm, and people get to relax a little bit, go mingle with each other, taste each other's sauces, imbibe with some friends.
Oh, this is great. First of all, we're all good friends. Second of all, it's a fun experience that you remember forever. We still have vivid memories of doing this in 2016. It was fun then. I think a lot of times when you think about like Jewish food, you think about like a very structured type of environment. You think about a kosher restaurant. But here it's everybody coming from like all walks of life, coming together, cooking it basically our way. And I think that's actually really touching to see.
Communities stay strong when they are thicker and make demands of people and make demands of their members. And this is a pretty demanding and all-encompassing thing. So it's a strong way of maintaining Jewish community.
The competition is not just a competition, it's an overall festival. While it's centered on the various teams competing, the key to our success is how the food vendors come and augment the team food.
We are preparing for the barbecue festival 260 pounds of kosher beef ribs. These are going to cook all night. We're expecting these to be around 7 hours to 8 hours to cook, and then they're going to come off. We're going to have nice tender meat, and everybody is going to have a party tomorrow.
15 minutes until the pantry closes. 15 minutes until the pantry closes. 15 minutes until the pantry closes.
Who are we?
We are the Brisketeers.
What's our motto? All for brisket and brisket for all.
What's more Jewish than brisket? That's right. You know, I haven't tried barbecuing a matzo ball yet, but maybe.
We'll smoke them next time.
That's right. It is competition, yes. But the reality is, it's just a great community event because any person, regardless of their adherence to being kosher or not, can come and fully partake. How often do you get to hang out with the policemen and the firemen and just kind of cut up, and everybody has that one bond. It's all about the barbecue.
Before doing this event, I never knew what kosher was. But I saw some things, in stores probably sold kosher or what have you, and never even really cooked it. But it's kind of fun doing this event. It's a challenge.
Are you guys confident this is winning?
This chicken is.
I think it's Mayor, I think we're good. You can tell us though.
Just the right amount of smoke.
Right amount of smoke. Yes. That's what we want to hear. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, I think this is a winner. Definitely a winner.
All right.
So. I gotta see what the police department's doing.
Don't worry about that.
Don't even go there. You'll be disappointed.
Don't even bother. It's always rivalry, if you want to say, with fire and police, but we have a genuine love for each other with our police department.
We're not gonna let them win. No. They can't cook. All they eat is donuts. Come on, guys.
The Kosher BBQ Competition and Festival in Atlanta. It's an event that has been promoted and put together by the Hebrew Order of David International. So there's all these different groups that come together around barbecue, fun, music, and hey, food. What can you say?
Approximately around about 11:35 will be the first turn in. That'll be chili. So the teams will turn in behind me. It is maddening because we give them a 10-minute window, 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. And some of the teams, the adrenaline's going, they don't watch the clock. And all of a sudden, about a minute, and we've had some less than that, will come running, and they're trying to beat the turn in. And unfortunately, if it's beyond that, then it's a DQ, disqualification. We have all professional judges. And these are judges that have been members of the Kansas City Barbecue Society, KCBS, or they're both GBA, Georgia Barbecue Association. They have judged some of them 100+ contests.
They actually fight for a seat at our festival because it's so unique and different from anything that they experience, because they've never been exposed to kosher until they come to us. So they're looking for the tenderness, they're looking for the smell, they're looking for the taste, they're looking for the doneness, they're looking for the smoke ring and the brisket, they're looking for the presentation.
The way the judging is, it's completely like if you'd gone to a professional contest, that's the way they're going to judge it.
They're holding us to a higher standard, which is what the world always does to us.
Okay, so we're going to announce a couple of prizes, a couple of awards, some special presentations for today.
Tried and true barbecue is something that you don't read in a book. You learn it from your forebears, and I think that may be a part of the story and a part of how barbecue in the Jewish community continues to be yet a tradition that you will find at the Kosher BBQ Festival and in tables across Atlanta and beyond.
Barbecue is comfort, it is social, it is culture, it is flavor, it is timing, it's love, it's care, it's all of the above.
I have a chapter in my book about how much Southerners love barbecue and how deeply emotionally attached Southerners are to barbecue. One of the ones that really moved me the most was from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution newspaper columnist Louis Grizzard, who had heart trouble and died of that heart trouble when he was in his mid-40s. And when he was in the cardiac unit at Emory for what turned out to be the last time, some friends brought him some pork barbecue from Sprayberry's Barbecue in Noonan. And he wrote this column about having this barbecue and all just this rabbit hole of memories that he went down in eating it. He wrote so movingly about it, and I think one of the reasons it was so moving was you knew this might be the last time he was tasting it. I could find no better expression of the emotional attachment between Southerners and barbecue than what a dying Louis Grizzard wrote about probably his last barbecue sandwich.
Now let's eat.
Yeah, let's eat.